The devil. Oh yeah. Now, what have I got for you today? What have I got? What's in the box? Well, you can probably see the big Rega sign on the front of it. So I've been looking to, I've been using I'll get my words out in a second. Jesus. I've been looking to upgrade my phono stage that's built into my Yamaha AS500. Now it's a pretty decent phono stage, it's okay, it's all right. But I thought, if I get an external phono stage, a relatively decent one without spending too much money, I might get an improvement on the sound. So I've got the Phono Moving Magnet Mark 5. Mark 5 from Rega, me in England. Neighbours to us in Wales. Now, I don't think there was a Mark 4. I've looked for a Mark 4 version. I don't think there is one. It jumped from Mark 3 up to Mark 5. Maybe Mark 5 sounds a bit more impressive. I don't know. But there we are. And I think the only thing they've changed from the Mark 3 is the case. Because looking at it online, the internal components pretty much look identical to the Mark 3. The Mark 3 was a more rounder sort of looking phono amp, with this it's more square and blocky. We'll have a look at it in a sec. Yeah, and when you look at the back, the inputs are the same, the ground screws are the same. They've just changed the casing basically to make him look a bit more modern possibly. I don't know, maybe. But apart from that, it looks the same. But anyway, that's not a bad thing, because when the Mark III came out, it was reviewed very highly. I mean, What Hi-Fi had a bit of a stiffy for it. Give it 5 stars. So if it's got the same internal components, which I think it does, it's going to sound as good as that. So let's get it out of the box and have a look. Okay, so here it is. Now, it seems a bit of a big box to me, quite a, decent size for what it is. Let's have a look. And here you are. So you got the instructions here. You don't really need many instructions with a few things in there. Just tells you. I mean, it's not much to really read, is it? A couple of things you need. Plug that in there. Plug them in there. In, out. Ground on the back. There. Okay. And it is quite a big box. Considering it's not, they could have compacted that down a bit. Come on, Rega, sort it out. Think of the trees, yeah, packaging. Let's get that out there. So that's it there, and I think that's obviously got to be the power brick. The electricity supply. See if I can untape that. Boom. Here's the power supply there. Now, Rega do stipulate online, don't use any other power supply, only the one they supply. Supply the supply. Too many supplies in this sentence. What's going on? I'm surprised. Okay, boo. Only use the power supply that they provide. That's what I'm getting at. There you go. Don't use any other one. They stipulate that. And there you've got the amp itself. Let's have a look. Okay, just let me have a little look around this and I'll get back to you in a second. I've got a little scoot around it, little browse, see what I think. It's got the rubber feet on the bottom. For 220 quid, I would expect it maybe something better than a couple of black erasers. That's what they look like. I mean, it is 220 quid I paid for this, so. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, it seems well built, but it's got that feel of a cheap Chinese amp. It just really has. I'm sure it is better built than that. It's got this plastic bevel around the front. This plastic bevel here. Oh, that only works on glass, doesn't it? Got the power button there. And again, it just feels like a pretty... again, it doesn't feel premium, but like you push it in, it turns on. You push it out again, it turns off. That's what it's supposed to do. But it just feels one of them, like them cheap, clicky power buttons. So, I don't know. I think when you power it up, this lights up here, this Rega sign there, like glows a little bit. So that's all you're going to get on the front is that. On the back, yoink. Okay, so you've just got your RCA's output, RCA input from your turntable or record player, whatever you want to call it. Your ground screw, your power in. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else on there. But yeah, it's all right. It's all right. As long as it sounds good. You know, I don't really care. Now it's out of the box. Let's get it powered up, connected to my amp, and I can then see whether it's better than the built-in phono on the Yamaha AS500. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a separate video for the sound comparison because you know what YouTube are like. They go, oh, no, 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 no. And they'll copyright strike or something this video. But if I do it in a separate video, they can't do it. So they're YouTube, right? So what I'll do, I'll put a link here. And if you're watching on a TV or something, I'll put a link in the description box as well to that video. So you can pause here and go and watch it. So if you're going to go and watch it, pause now. Did you watch it? Or should I say, listen to it? Did you? Well, if you didn't, don't worry, because I'll give you my feedback now, what I think. Now, I was surprised and a little disappointed, to be fair. To my ears, it didn't sound any better than the built-in phono stage on my S500. It sounded a little bit different, and in my opinion, and it is only my opinion, I thought the Yamaha sounded better. It may be because I prefer the sound of the Yamaha amps, but I thought the Yamaha sounded a bit more forward, a bit more, just only a tiny bit more open and a bit brighter. The bass was good on it, and the mids are okay, it handles the mids okay. I felt the top end was a little bit rolled off. Look, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you haven't got an amp with a built-in phono stage and you're using the built-in phono stage on these record players, these built-in phono stages on the record players tend to be a bit rubbish. Okay, they're not very good. This will be an improvement over that, definitely. But here's the thing. I used to have an NAD PP2, okay? And I wouldn't say this sounds any better than that. And that's, what's that around about? 100, 150 quid, around about there? They're not much. I think they're around about 100 quid mark. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're around about there. So they're cheaper, and I don't think, I mean, I'm only doing this from memory, but, you know, I thought this didn't sound any better than that. For 220 quid, I was expecting a lot more. And also as well, so I've tested the Marantz PM6007 phono stage, and that wasn't bad, not bad at all. And I've tested the newer model of this one, the AS501. Now the AS501 compared to the Marantz, I couldn't really tell the difference, the phono stages. They sounded identical. But I also compared this 500, the older model, this one here, against the Marantz PM6007, and there was a difference. Now, I'm not saying the difference was good or bad. It was just different. So some people in the comment section of that video said they prefer the sound of the Marantz phono stage, and some people have said they prefer the sound of the Yamaha. My preference is that I prefer the Yamaha sound, which is a little bit more forward and a little bit brighter, whereas the Marantz phono stage tends to be a little bit back a little bit and a little bit warmer. And depends which sound you like, you prefer. But all three of them phono stages didn't sound any worse than this. I'm not saying this sounded really bad. They just sounded the same. And like I said, I prefer the sound of the Yamaha. So if you've got an amp, a decent amp, around about £400 or £500 amp, £300 to £500 with a built-in phono stage, don't bother getting one of these unless you're prepared to pay £500 upwards for a phono stage, and then you may see some improvement. But you know, I've had a couple of phono stages now, external ones, and none of them have sounded better than the built-in phono stages on the amps. And that's why I'm saying you probably need to pay a little bit more, unfortunately. Damn you. Okay, so there you go. Well, here we are. So unfortunately, this is going back. Sorry, you know, you were okay, but just not good enough, mate. I'm sorry. Don't cry. Yeah, it's gone back in the box, back to Amazon. I was hoping for a bit of an improvement. So there we are, for £220. I was expecting more. I didn't get it. Anyway, that's come to the end of the video. Don't forget, if you got this far and you liked the video, give it a flipping like, yeah? And if you haven't subscribed, what the? Give yourself a slap in the face. Are you mad? Subscribe to this channel. We got tons of stuff on you. I say we, it's only me. Okay, that's come to the end of the video. I'll catch you in the next one.